Building stronger connections between Africa and the global diaspora is the theme of the Global African Diaspora Symposium to take place from the 27th to the 28th of April 2023. But some questions are pertinent. Who is a diasporan, and are you aware of the Global African Diaspora Symposium and its impact on Nigeria? Well, the NIDCOM media crew has gone to town to find out more. Please stay tuned for more details. And the Dominican Republic beckons for diaspora investment and business. Wait for details. A Nigerian lady is passionate about Nigeria and wants to visit again and again. It's unmissable. Stick around for more. And our health tips segment with ANPA doctors are ready for you. And of course, we have our Diasporan of the Moment with Shaliwa Ajila presenting. Please stay with your favorite program, The Diaspora, and I am your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. NIDCOM media team was on the streets to feel the pulse of the people on their understanding of who a diasporan is. Please watch.
The diasporan, from what I know, is someone who left the country due to certain reasons and probably is not willing to come back anytime soon. He's just basing there to establish his or herself before probably coming back to the country whenever he or she wants.
What does Global African Diaspora Symposium mean to you?
Probably I think it's something like about creating an awareness.
I think the last couple of years there have been increasing awareness on the need to convene regularly diaspora's dialogue, either within the African continent or abroad in the global north or elsewhere. There have been a lot of increased migratory trend now, particularly from Nigeria to Middle East, Europe and North Africa. And we have seen the need to also tap from the diaspora community in terms of even knowledge, in terms of also social support. We can see if we don't get to engage one another, we may not be able to appreciate some of those salient opportunities that such kind of symposium can bring to the table.
So what do you think this can bring to the development of Africa?
Thank you very much. There is a huge potential and opportunity in diaspora's engagement, particularly when there are systems like in the country like Nigeria, when we have the national policy on diaspora, to use the agency of that policies to be able to set a better developmental agenda. A lot of Nigerian diaspora have acquired knowledge, experience that we serve better if there is a structured way of engaging them and make sure that they contribute meaningfully to national development.
Diasporas is, we can call them Nigerians, but they base abroad. So mostly all over the world, and Nigerians have so many of our citizens all over there and abroad. Those are the people they call diaspora. When you look at the level of contributions the people in diaspora are bringing into Africa in dollars, you know, in kind of funds that they repatriate to Nigeria and other African countries, you will see their contribution. And apart from that, there are so many technocrats, there are so many experts in diaspora, like engineers, like that are willing to come back home to contribute one way or the other to the development of their country. But the problem we are having is that the government in Africa didn't create the kind of enabling environment for them. But I believe if, like this kind of program now, we sanitize people, it will create more awareness for those in diaspora to come home to do one thing or the other. It will be a synergy between those in Africa and those in diaspora to work together for the betterment of the continent.
I think a diasporan is a group of people with similar heritage who have migrated out of the country.
Building stronger connection between Africa and global diaspora. What do you think the symposium will bring back to Africa in respect of its impact in the different sectors?
Okay, I think it's going to bring investors who would add value to the different sectors in the Nigerian economy.
A diasporan is someone not living in his country, probably outside his country, his country of origin or residence, something like that.
This year's symposium, the theme is building strong connections between Africa and the global diaspora. So what do you think this symposium can bring to the development of Africa?
Well, to me it's trickish, but Nigeria, Africa, Nigeria in particular, we are still developing, and we still need a lot of helps. If genuinely we can help ourselves, if we can get the help from diaspora, from people living in diaspora to assist us in one or two other things like healthcare, infrastructure, and all that, yes, I think it will be better for the country. And if our leaders truly will follow these things to latter, that's all.
Who's a diaspora?
Someone that is legally working and living outside the country.
Okay. So please, are you aware about the Global African Diaspora Symposium happening on the 27th and 28th of April this month?
No.
Okay. Our theme for this symposium is building stronger connection between Africa and the global diaspora. So what do you think this symposium will bring to Africa in respect of its impact?
Building strong connection, to bring strong connection, invest into the youth and open more businesses to assist the youth.
Diaspora are people who are living outside the shore, outside your country, who are living in some other places, extremely outside your country. You can remember Bill Clinton when he visited Nigeria at the National Assembly. He said we have more than 2,500 Nigerians, scientists, globally there, in Europe, in America. If these scientists come back to Nigeria, we can develop Nigeria, we can develop Africa. We have a lot of scientists. Let them come back to their father's land, their mother's land, and develop Africa. We are always stagnating. Our economy, we are experiencing poverty and squalor. We are not industrialized. We are not scientifically and technologically advanced. Let the Africans come in diaspora. Let them come to Africa and reside Africa and develop Africa and sacrifice, not for the benefit of the financial resources they are accumulating outside Europe or something. No, it's not about. It's for their future generation. If they did that, it will be advantageous for Africa. Africa will be developed, and we cannot be subjected to political and economic exploitation by the West and imperialists.
Nigerians in the diaspora have always been urged to never forget home by investing. Dr. Cletsaint Ako, Chief Executive, Nigeria Dominican Republic Business Exchange, was at NIDCOM for Diaspora Exchange. Enjoy.
The Nigerian Dominican Republic Business Exchange, like you are aware, which you stated before, is to establish a business forum between us and Dominican Republic. Before their visit last 2 years, there's no business relationship between us and them. All issues that has to do with Dominican Republic was handled by our mission in Jamaica, and of course their mission there. So there was a need to be able to cement the relationship and establish that. And that's what the Nigerian Dominican Republic NIDOBES seeks to achieve. Now, we are going for a pre-conference dialogue, which is a lead to a multilateral conference where the body will be expanded. And what the critical outcome of the pre-conference dialogue is to look at where we can establish a government-to-government relationship to be able to create a necessary platform that will enable NIDOBES to begin to run. 3 takeaways that was agreed. One is to see how the two governments can establish presence in both countries, starting probably from a honorary consulate or a full embassy. Then number 2, with our discussion with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council and other related agencies, there was a need to also sign BASA because to have an effective trade relationship, we have to have flights that move directly from here to Dominican Republic. That does not exist. So on this trip, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs also coming to see the way they can discuss on issues of signing the bilateral air service agreement. Then I think the third one is a trade document, a relationship that can be formalized between the Nigerian government. Those are the 3 takeaways. But we don't intend to, and of course, for your agency, there are Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians too in Dominican Republic. that will need to get a vibe of what your agency, the good work your agency has been doing, so that it can be effectively represented. We also thought it wise that because you are part of the very beginning of this, we needed a broad collaboration because you already have an insight concerning what we're talking about to see how this thing can work.
The best place to invest in any part of the world today, I'll say, is Nigeria, because the developing economy, our democracy is growing, things are growing, and the beauty is that we're having these exchanges and partnerships and relationships. And I think the key word is collaboration. So that is very important. So we want to commend you for the program you're planning there, the business exchange program in Dominican Republic. So we look forward to that partnership, and that is what we expect of Nigerians, to be able to bring up this collaboration, these partnerships, this building bridges across the world. So we commend you. We commend you for what you're doing, and you can count on us as a reliable partner. And we also look forward to meeting Nigerians in the Dominican Republic, and there are quite a number of them there, and they are doing very well over there. So we look forward to getting to know some of them in that area and also expanding our own database. And we're going to, through you, tell them that they should register at the data portal, which details of which we can give you, so that we get to know more about them and have them, get involved in a lot of activities. So I want to commend you once more and thank you for what you're doing. And I look forward to a great collaboration with you as you prepare for this huge business deal that will take place in Dominican Republic. And I also believe the BASA will work out. And I think it should work out because a lot of Nigerians are willing to go to those places. And if traveling is made easier, you're going to find more people going to those islands and all that. So thank you very much for visiting, and we look forward to the collaboration.
A Nigerian lady, Shade Lewelin, is passionate and fond of Nigeria despite the negative narrative. Please watch.
Do not tell me I cannot stay in Nigeria. I had a different part two, but I had to recreate my part two due to the level of comments from my first part of my video, which was meant to be the reasons why I like Nigeria. I've traveled to Nigeria many times, and I absolutely enjoy my stay, and it's a very comfortable stay. And one thing I will say is that if any one of you in these comments who are complaining about Nigeria was given $10 million to move out of Nigeria, you would not leave. Because guess what? You have money now to stay there comfortably, and you can't tell me that you would leave your country. If the richest black man in the world lives in Nigeria, you cannot tell me that that place is not livable. If all of these Afrobeat stars and artists, even I can say Davido, who is an American citizen, lives most of his time in Nigeria, you cannot tell me this place is unlivable. Also, you're probably saying, oh, they're rich, they're celebrities. And if you want to complain about poverty, okay, yes, poverty exists there, but poverty exists everywhere. Do not think that people in America are not living under bridges, have no running water, are homeless. It exists tremendously here. Many of you are telling me not to come to Nigeria. I'm crazy for wanting to be there and all of the above. And you don't realize that you are contributing to the destruction of your own country. Foreigners invest in the country and provide jobs. Foreigners create tourism, and therefore tourism builds many successful economies today. And that is the thing. So it's interesting how many of you don't understand that concept. That's the worst thing to do, is to try to build another man's country when you have your own beautiful country.
So let me know you a little bit more. I'm the chairman of Nigerian Diaspora Commission. I got your tape. I think that Malam Danladi, the Kogona himself, sent it to me. I'm like, I got to know her. I mean, how can you market us so well? And I said, I want to know you and then invite you to Nigeria again. I'm sure you've been here severally to be our guest or something. So let me just know a bit about you. Is that your husband? Who is next to you?
Yes.
Okay. So just tell me a bit about yourself and what you do. and where you are.
It's Sade Akomaye. This is my husband, Stephen Akomaye. I pretty much, I actually work from home remotely. I'm actually a practitioner, so basically a general practitioner. And that's pretty much what I do here. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. But of course, Nigeria is my second home. And so, as far as, I don't know if you want me to start with the video, as far as how the video came about is because, I don't know if you know, like in America, a lot of Nigerian, well, at least in Atlanta, a lot of physicians are Nigerian. So I work with a lot of Nigerians when I used to work at the hospital. And so pretty much when I used to come to Nigeria, they were like, what in the world? Is like, are you going to be safe? Are you going to be okay? And I was like, well, yeah, my husband, like, he loves it. He always tells me, don't mind them, And so, literally, when I went and, I would take pictures and videos and all of that, and then I would come back to work and I would show them, they're like, oh my gosh, like, I want to go back to my, Nigeria. And a lot of them haven't been there in years, just because I had a different perspective on how I saw it and how excited I was and how much I enjoyed it. So, so that's a little bit how it started to come about, because especially me not actually being from Nigeria and sharing it a lot on social media, people became interested. My husband was like, you need to come to Nigeria, you need to come. And, and I was like, well, what do you do there? Because I don't really see anything, like advertised,
And now let's take a break with Boyalinko leading us.
Not so fast. Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures.
Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down. Do you have a job where you're going to?
No, but someone is arranging,
Listen, Alinko. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alinko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
I'm the president of Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, and I'm here today to talk about Stop the Bleed. As we know, acute hemorrhage could be the cause of significant loss of blood volume, and this could result in a preventable cause of severe injury and or death. So it's very important to be able to address acute hemorrhage if it occurs, especially if it's on a limb or even the abdomen. Quick and active effect towards controlling massive hemorrhage is important to improve the survival of the victim or patient. This could occur in the setting of a motor vehicle accident, a gunshot wound, a penetrating injury from a victim of violence, and or other unpredictable catastrophic events. Therefore, it's important for everyone to have a good sense of an understanding of what to do in case of an injury. If there is a sudden and acute ongoing blood loss, especially of a limb, it's very important to make sure that you're in a safe place. Once you identify that, then to apply pressure at the area of the injury to control the blood loss. This pressure should be maintained until the patient or the victim can be transported to an appropriate acute care delivery site. If this involves a limb, an arm or a leg, it's very important that the use of a tourniquet could help assist in controlling the blood loss. American College of Surgeons, in conjunction with the Department of Defense, created this treatment module called Stop the Bleed to be able to address and teach the general population on how to respond to acute hemorrhage. Stop the bleed training is very important to understand how to place a tourniquet, how to prevent bleeding that is significant in a limb and or any area of the body that has the ability to have a tourniquet placed. Obviously, you cannot place a tourniquet on the neck. However, in the limb outside of a joint, it's very important to place a tourniquet and increase the pressure to stop further blood loss. When you do that, you're able to create a time frame towards being able to transport the affected victim to get appropriate treatment in a care delivery facility. So when you see someone who is bleeding heavy with significant bleeding, don't panic, take a deep breath, get whatever you can use to tamponade the bleeding, be it a shirt, be it a towel, be it a napkin, and try as much as possible to create this pressure to stop the bleeding and tie a tourniquet if you're able.
And now to our diasporan of the moment with Shalewa Ajila presenting.
Our diaspora of the moment is Dr. Godwin Maduka. Dr. Godwin is a Nigerian doctor, philanthropist, and businessman. He was born in Nkiri, Orumba South local government area, Anambra State, Nigeria. Dr. Godwin, in 2008, played a major role in renaming his hometown from Nkiri to Umuchukwu. He founded Las Vegas Pain Institute and Medical Center in 1999. The facility is a one-stop destination for various medical services, including primary care, preventive care, urgent care, radiology, lab work, and surgery. He started his education in Nofia Comprehensive Secondary School and All Saints Grammar School, Umunze, before getting admission to study medicine at the University of Port Harcourt, but he couldn't join his peers due to lack of monetary support. He got an opportunity through his cousin, Professor Dr. Richard Igwike, who taught at the Rust College at the time, to study at the Rust College on a scholarship that covered half of his tuition. In 1984, he graduated summa cum laude in chemistry from Ross College and got another scholarship to study pharmacy at Mercer University, graduating in 1988. In 1997, after his education, Maduka moved to Las Vegas and got a job where he was paid $8,000 as an advance payment. He worked as an anesthesiologist at the Desert Spring United Methodist Church, Nevada, and other hospitals before starting his own practice at Red Rock Medical Group, Nevada. In 1999, he founded Las Vegas Pain Institute and Medical Center before expanding to 6 locations in southern Nevada. He is a clinical faculty supervisor and adjunct professor of pain management and anesthesiology at Touro University, Nevada. He's also a clinical assistant professor of surgery at the UNLV School of Medicine. He's presently building Africa's largest medical research hub, an 18-story skyscraper in his village, Umuchukwu, in Anambra State. Maduka, according to reports, has built over 100 houses for widows in Umuchukwu. He also built schools, courts, a police station, a hospital, quarters for judges, police and teachers, a pharma company, and churches. Congratulations, Dr. Maduka. We celebrate you as our diaspora of the moment.
I hope you have enjoyed your time with us. Stick with us same time next week for another exciting episode. And I remain your host, Poinsola Adetunbi. See you next time.